Dopamine here. So I did a poll, right? What videos do you guys want? And the highest rated vote went towards what games to play on these handheld devices, Steamdeck OLED, ROG Ally X, Legion Go, whatever else you may have. So what I've done is I've compiled 30 games. I'm doing 3 categories. A ton of you guys are asking questions that like, what's this game at 5 minutes? What's this game at 30 seconds? And so what I've done is I've grabbed all those comments and I've counted them and voted based off the most popular question, like popular game. The next category is the other games that I play and some that I don't really record that I spend countless hours on that I think a lot of you might want. Then the last category is future releases that really get me excited for the future. And that's a key to happiness, I'll tell you. But so here we go, based off popular vote. Number 5 is Astroneer. So we've all probably heard of this game at one point. Playing it is different. It's a very simple, easy, cozy game. The art style is very pretty and it's very satisfying when you like hold down X or press Y. Like a lot of the buttons and the clickiness is all very rewarding. And all you do is you kind of wander, you craft, you dig, you build, you upgrade. And it looks amazing on OLED. Fool you. Number 4 is No Man's Sky. Now I get it, we all know this game, but what's crazy is that there have been so many updates on this game that it's sometimes, in some cases, really hard to recognize that it's No Man's Sky. Completely different than when you probably played it last. If you played it like 3 years ago, whole different ball game. This game has so much content. I always spend most of my time trying to find that perfect planet where I can build and raise a family, but I've yet to find it because the grass is always greener on the other side. It's a mental issue, but man, this game will suck you in. It's fun, it's easy. Doesn't take a lot to run, so you can play it anywhere at any time on any device. Number 3 is No Rest for the Wicked. This game is still in development, but I'm telling you, this game is a lot like Elden Ring. It is very difficult, and it's one of those games where you have to grind it out, but it's a beautiful game within itself. The colors are amazing. The graphics are just so satisfying to me, at least. And the level design is amazing. It's an open world. It's classified as an open world. And all you do is you kill, you upgrade, you find your life's purpose, and you can go with different builds. For me, I'm a warrior. I just tend to use that great sword. I love that thing. I've used it the whole game. And you just explore and you fight difficult animals, difficult bosses and bad guys. And it's, oh man, you just got to try it for yourself. Number 2 is Metro Exodus. So this game is... A lot of you guys ask what this is because it looks amazing. The HUD is very minimal and the game is extremely immersive. It takes place in Russia after the apocalyptic nuclear war, a couple hundred years later. And it's a lot like Stalker, right? And I'll get to that later, but this game is an RPG. It's classified as that, but there's just like 6 different huge maps and it's very intimidating. This game actually freaks me out sometimes. A lot of weird creatures, big spiders. You're truly alone in the game most of the time. When you're wandering out there, it's just you. And that can feel a little intimidating because these giant monsters just pop up out of nowhere and you get freaked out and you don't have as much ammo in the game. So, oh man, it'll take you through a whirlwind. It ain't chill and cozy, but it is fun. Number 1 is Enshrouded. This game, so many people have asked what this game is. And it is probably one of my top picks for the last 3 or 4 years. It's a lot like Valheim. It's a lot like Rust. And honestly, it's a lot like Minecraft. It takes place in this beautiful European world. You can go down to the Red Rocks if you want, and you fight bosses. It's a lot like a Souls game. You've got your dodge and roll combat, hardcoreness, and you craft, and you build, and you mine, and you cut down trees, you know. And then you can see the blue smoke. When you go in there, you can only be in the Enshrouded for about 5 minutes. I mean, you can upgrade your guy, and you'll find like the best loot in there, but it's the most dangerous. And then you come back out to the beautiful world. And I mean, if you look on YouTube, people are building the most beautiful, coziest hobbit villages I've ever seen in any game. And it is a fun game. Also, the soundtrack is amazing. And there's so many little villages to explore and just little caves and things like that. I love it. And you can fly. That's awesome. With all these games that I'm mentioning, I'm not going to review them. I'm just going to help you decide what is for you, what isn't. And then you go ahead and look up reviews on the games if you want to buy them. So we've got Trepping 2. This game is straight dopamine. It's destruction. All you do is run around, blow people up into pieces. It's fun, it's bloody, it's gory, some cool music plays, you're just feeling it, running around. You can do slow-mo, you can do invisibility, you can sneak up, grab people, throw them, blow them up. It's just dopamine. And there's monsters here and there, but it reminds me of that Fear game I used to play on the old Xbox. The next game is Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm not going to talk much about this because you know what it is. It's a true masterpiece. Even if you're not into these RPG-style games, this is one of the very few games where the stories kept me in. And this game has made me cry, actually just bawl my eyes out. It is a real heavy game, and it has a lot of value to it. And I'll be honest, this game can be very inspiring in a way to be a better person. It sounds crazy, but play the game, you'll know what I mean. And I'm sure people will back me up in the comments saying this game changed their life because it changed mine. The next one is Kingdom Come Deliverance. So this game, you probably know it. It's super slow. It's based off of real history. It's not a true story within itself, but this takes place in Bohemia, which is now the Czech Republic. And this game is really fun to play because it actually takes you away from whatever reality you're living in right now. It's a vibe, it's a super heavy vibe. Walking through the nature is just incredible with the music, and the combat is very realistic. There's no arcadiness to it whatsoever. And there's a lot of missions where you kind of have to go get sage lilies by the river to kill this wife's sick husband type stuff. But the story is amazing. It's about Henry, and gosh, it's a cool game. And they're making a new one, which I'll talk about in a second. But yeah, it's a fun one. It's a fun one just to chill out. I do polls where you can vote on videos that you want to see. So please participate in that. You don't have to subscribe if you don't want to. If this is your vibe, it's your vibe. Tell me what I can do to improve my videos. All right, let's hit it with the next one. The next game is Black Myth Wukong. Oh man, this thing freaking hits. I don't know why people say that it's not a Souls-like game, because this game is extremely unforgiving. I have died so many times. I've spent 2 days trying to kill that tiger boss in the blood pond, and it is just such a headache at times, but it really is rewarding and satisfying. The combat, you learn it, you execute it, and you feel real good about yourself. The world is super cool. That headless dude with the guitar, that's a vibe too. I love that music. It's a really cool game. I never thought I'd like it getting into it, but after playing it, I can't get off of it. And so I encourage you to try it. It's pretty pricey, so wait for a sale if you want, but man, it's pretty cool. Now, this next game, by far, has got to be the most immersive game, aside from Cyberpunk, that I've ever played in my entire life. And this is Hunter Call of the Wild. Now, when you see this, you probably don't relate to this game. A lot of us are not into hunting. Personally, I am, and I'll tell you this. This game does what no game does, and it heightens up your senses. So, it's hard to explain because if you've never been hunting, you wouldn't know. Your sense of smell, your hearing, your movements, your drive as a human, it gets amplified when you go hunting. And it's the same thing in this game. When you see a black bear that you're trying to hunt, or an elk, you don't just run up to it and shoot it. You have to be so precise and very, very patient before you pull the trigger. You need to get up to that right spot, and you got to make sure that when you take that shot, you're fully confident knowing that it's going to pierce into the heart. And it is stressful, and my heart rate, there's not many games out there that get my heart pumping real fast like this game, because it is so realistic. And the worlds that you can play in on this game are just almost some of the best foliage and environments that I've ever played in any game that's based in nature. I would argue Avatar's Pandora, Frontier, whatever, that's up there. This game's nature is amazing, and you can truly feel like you're in Montana, you're in South Africa or Australia, you're in Alaska, and it is a priceless thing. One last thing I'll add about this game, I'll get so sucked into it with my headphones and a Legion Go. When I take off the headphones, I forget that I'm in my room on my bed playing this game. Seriously, this game is priceless for people that want to get away from reality. The next game on the list is Ghost of Tsushima. This is a Sony exclusive up until recent, and they've done some remastering in it. This game takes place in feudal Japan. The combat of this game is incredible. It's some of my favorite combat in any game. It's an RPG. It's extremely immersive, but it is very rewarding and satisfying. The Mongolians have taken over Japan. It's a true story. It's a true story with artificial sweetener, to be honest. But there's a bunch of Mongolian camps that you can strategically invade, right? If you want to go in as an archer and a stealth person, if you want to go in full combat, it is a fun game to just loot, find things, explore. And the story is really good too, because it's about invaders and trying to defend your home. Now, the next game, this one is really next level. And this is Dying Light 2. Listen, it's so satisfying to play. Parkour, climbing, rope swings, freaking zombie gore, just hack and slash, cutting things in half. This game has it all. And it is scary at times. I don't play the game at night. Like, here's what I do. I actually download Wiimote and I put on the invincibility feature, because when these zombies start chasing you at night and they're breathing down your neck, you can hear them running and chasing you and breathing. I just can't do it. I really can't. It is so scary and so tense that it's almost not fun. But in the daytime, it's much more manageable. And there's some other bandits and other people that you can cut in half too, which is fun. This game is amazing, and they're pushing new updates. And then there's like a new Dying Light Exodus or something coming out where you are actually one of the zombies killing humans. Gosh, it's a real fun game. But the vibe is very eerie, and the audio and like the atmosphere is very hostile, so it's not very comfortable. It's just very fun. After that, we've got a game called Hell Let Loose. This takes place in World War II. It is a very realistic first-person shooter, giant maps, realistic war approach. There's no kill confirmed, there's no hit markers, nothing. And you have to rely off team play and strategy to invade and or defend. This game is fun. Some people call it PTSD simulator because they can get pretty tense and brutal at times and very frustrating. And it's a very slow-paced game, but it's fun if you have a friend or two to hop on with. The next game is Hitman. This game has been so much fun. What I do is I'll put this on the TV with my girlfriend and a couple other friends, and we'll play it together. And you probably know this game already, but on these handhelds, it runs amazing. And there's so many different disguises and just ways to go about executing your targets. And the map design is the best I've seen in comparison to most games. You've got Dubai, you've got the Middle East, you've got Virginia, you have the F1 series race car race or whatever. Like, this game just really is so fun. There's so much detail in every map, and there's so many things you can do in the game. So I love this one. The next game is super underrated, and it's made by one developer in Poland, I believe, and this is Manor Lords. Congrats to this guy. He spent 8 years or so making this game. He's become a millionaire overnight, but this game is a city builder, medieval, realistic. The music's great, and it's very satisfying to build a city, see it grow, build an army, defend yourself from invaders, invade different territories, build over there, and then just make an awesome, healthy, fun economy. This game has sucked me in. I put so many hours into this, and it's really fun on the Steamdeck because of the sleep function and dual trackpad. It's very useful to have that. The next game on the list is Subnautica. This game is super easy. It's only like 800 megabits or something, and it takes place in this giant open world underwater. And a lot of us might have this fear. It's a fear of like going deep in the ocean and seeing large things. I have that fear. I forget, Thalassaphobia is what it's called. And you'll get that feeling in this game. And it's a really cool, fun, mining, rewarding game. And there's a lot to explore in it. And the vibe is just really fun. The next game is Witcher 3. We all know this. Most of us have played it. But if you're looking for a game to sink a ton of hours into, this might be a good one for you. The story is amazing. I love Geralt of Rivia. I try to be like him in my life. And this game just really puts you out there in this world. There's not much I'm going to talk about with this game because we probably already all know it. But the one that comes after Witcher 3 is a game that I think every single human should play. And that is Cyberpunk. This game, by far, is the most impressive game I have ever played, next to Red Dead Redemption 2. The world is so immersive. It's LA in the year 2077. The detail in this game is incredible. And with frame generation, you can bump some of these graphics up to ultra, and the graphics are just mind-blowingly good. the character design, everything about this game, the music, all of it is so fun, so immersive. And when I was playing this game for the second time a couple months back, I was actually, I would go do my normal real life things and still feel the vibes of this game. It's that powerful. I really think everyone should experience this game or have it in their library because it is so good. And the new DLC is a whole nother game within itself. Now, after Cyberpunk, another great game if you're into first-person shooters is Battlefield. Now, they're free on Xbox Game Pass. And Battlefield's fun because it's destruction, it's jets, it's helicopters, it's 64 players, it's 128 players at times. It's a huge part of my life. It's what got me into gaming, and it's why I do this to this date. This Battlefield, these games are really, really fun to play. Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 1 are very immersive and very tense. And with the screaming, the explosions, the destruction, the new 2042 feels a bit like Fortnite, so I don't recommend you play that. But these games are just amazing. The graphics are incredible. The kills are very satisfying. And flying a jet, bombing things, it's just so fun and rewarding. The next game is Valheim. This one is very easy to run on any computer you throw at it, any handheld. And, it's just like Enshrouded. The art is beautiful. You're a Viking and you can build a lot and you can craft and you can fight enemies and the combat's fun and the environment is beautiful, just like Enshrouded. If you like Enshrouded, you like Valheim. If you liked Valheim, Enshrouded is your go-to. This game is great, but the next one is Stardew Valley. This one is crazy because there's so much depth and there's so much content, and it's such a happy, feel-good game. I find myself fishing a lot on this game and then selling it, the night of. And I don't know, it's just good energy. This game, there's so much you can do. The next game I won't talk much about is Elden Ring. I've actually even made a whole video on Elden Ring on handhelds, but the last game I want to mention on this list in particular is Insurgency Sandstorm. This game doesn't take a lot to run, and it's extremely realistic combat, and I love that stuff. I love the high heart rate, hardcore, tense combat. This one, the audio is some of my favorite in any game. The guns sound very real. The time to kill is very short and very realistic, and it's a cool game. I play in night vision mode, hardcore, single player, and I actually just play it as if I were like a real Navy SEAL or military, like Marine. And I go very slow, very cautious, and I pull the trigger when I'm confident. Then I come back and I wait for some guys to poke out and I pop them again, then I slowly work my way up. It's a stressful game, it's a fun game, it's a game that I've had a lot of fun with my friends. The last category is future releases that we have coming up that are going to be so exciting. So for future release games, Stalker 2. This game is a lot like Metro Exodus, and what's so cool about this game is how big of a game it is. The developers that have made this game are not corrupted by pop culture. They have their own vibe, and these games carry a lot of weight and immersion with them. I'm very excited for this game. It might take a bit to run it. You might need a newer Ally or Legion Go, but I just cannot wait for this one. The next game I'm excited for, I'm dying to play, is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It is identical to Kingdom Come Deliverance with just improvements, and that's very much needed, and I cannot wait to play that game as well. The next game will be Avowed. Now, the recent gameplay of this game is like super arcade, but as long as I'm able to turn off all that HUD and play the game for what it is, I'm very excited for this one. They've been working on it for a few years. It's made by Obsidian. They made Outer Worlds and a few other cool games that we have probably grown up playing. But this next game is something that I am so excited for. I can't stop thinking about it. And it is Crimson Desert. Man, we don't know too much about this game. But what we do know is it's a giant open world. It's a lot like Black Myth Wukong combat. A lot of cool looting. The physics are freaking awesome. The graphics look amazing. And you can fly. You can do a bunch of different cool stuff. I'm excited for this one. It seems like a well-needed game in the industry. And then, these last two games are the ones that they keep me from going to sleep at night sometimes. Fable. You probably grew up with Fable. There's the new one coming out. There's no gameplay, so there's not much I can say about it. But the last one on the list is made by the developers that made No Man's Sky. They're working on it right now. And it is called Light No Fire. This trailer looks so cool. And it's a 1-to-1 ratio of Earth. It probably doesn't replicate Earth to the T, but it is as big as Earth is, with so much detail, different biomes. I cannot wait to play this game. I am so excited for it. Thank you guys for taking the time. Hopefully you found some gems in there. If you liked what you saw, subscribe if you want to. You don't have to. If it's your vibe, it's your vibe. And tell me what I could have done better for this, because I'll probably do one next year. And thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. Cyber Dopamine out.